If you look at the stories today, you're going to see that the Associated Press has come under fire. Whew. Yep. Apparently, the Israelis bombed the AP building. I mean, what will they do next? Now, they claimed that Hamas militants in Gaza were sharing office space with the Associated Press, but that would be something the Associated Press would report, wouldn't it, Stu? I mean, if they had, militants in their office building, they'd know it, and of course they would report it. Same with Al Jazeera, which is also in the same building.
Yeah, it would be really shocking if they didn't turn that information over to their viewers, their listeners. I mean, it would just be stunning if they just didn't do anything about it.
Well, in 2014, now they say they had no idea, and they think this is an attack on the press. But in a 2014 piece from The Atlantic written by a reporter in the region, they detailed a long and questionable history between the AP and the jihadist group. Quote, when Hamas leaders surveyed their assets before this summer's round of fighting, this is 2014. Remember when there was fighting between Israel and the Gaza Strip? Remember that? That was before Trump, and then, strangely, immediately after Trump. When Hamas leaders surveyed their assets before this summer's round of fighting, they knew that among those assets was the international press. The AP staff in Gaza City would witness a rocket launch right outside of their office, endangering reporters and other civilians nearby, and the AP wouldn't report it. Again, this is from the so very conservative Atlantic. The journalist at the time claimed that Hamas fighters would regularly, and I'm quoting, burst into AP Gaza Bureau and threaten the staff, and the AP wouldn't report it, end quote. So, wait a minute. The AP didn't know they were sharing a building with Hamas for 15 years, even though in 2014 the Atlantic reported on it and was quoting people from the AP? Wow, that seems weird. Now, it doesn't give a lot of credit to the AP. It's kind of hurts their credibility a bit, if they were able to miss Hamas, Hamas staging right there, like a Suite 203. It would be kind of hard to take them as a credible source, wouldn't it? Maybe just a little bit?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it would be an odd building Christmas party, I would feel like, when Hamas shows up.
Right.
But I do feel like
you might not want to have a Christmas party.
No?
Or a Hanukkah party. No, I mean, no. Probably not real.
No.
So it's an odd way to confess that you're completely incompetent. But hey, the AP's, not opposed to it.
Well, I don't think you have to confess it if you blame the Jews for lying about it. You could just say it's not true and then just say those Jews are lying once again. We all know how shifty they are, And then you just kind of pop that out there and everyone goes along with it immediately. I mean, that's because you're making it sound like they've admitted this was true. I mean, they're not. They're just saying.
Well, they did. No. They did in 2014.
Well, sure.
Yeah. I mean, in 2014, they were very well aware, when their reporters talked to The Atlantic, which, oh my gosh, that is a liberal magazine, isn't it? I was thinking that it was a really, really, really conservative magazine, but I just remembered it's not, is it, Stu?
It's pretty much Breitbart, Glenn. I'm pretty sure it's
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah,
so in 2014, they knew about it, but maybe it was one of those damn Israeli rockets that gave them amnesia, and now they can't remember it at all.
What did you have for lunch on this day in 2014? You're not going to remember it. A terrorist comes in and threatens your staff in the middle of writing a report.
Right, you forget. It's easy to forget
these things.
It is. Right. Now, I did listen to NPR this morning because I want to know what all the news is, and I am sure that I'm going to get great news coverage from NPR. And boy, they didn't disappoint today. Listen to the report about Israel.
Let's go now to NPR's Daniel Estrin, who is in Jerusalem. Hey there, Daniel.
Hi, Steve.
How widespread is the destruction in
Hi,
Gaza?
Steve.
Well, these Israeli attacks happened overnight, and every night seems to be more intense than the one before.
Stop for a second. I just want to reiterate this because it's going to become important. Well, these Israeli attacks have gotten worse, and each night is bigger than the night before. So remember, last week was horrible. I mean, just horrible. People were dying in the AP building. Oh, no, that was this weekend? Yeah. And so it was just, and nobody died in the AP building? Why is that?
Well,
they gave
warned.
a warning?
Yeah, they warned them in advance.
Huh,
And they have video of them all collecting their belongings before they could get out of the building.
That's weird. They gave them an hour. I'm being told just now in my ear. They gave them an hour, Stu, to get out. So, that's weird. Okay. All right. Anyway, so he says every day they are getting worse and worse. Okay, go ahead.
Israel says scores of warplanes again attacked another part of what Israel calls the underground metro. That is what they call underground tunnels they say Hamas has dug under Gaza to move its fighters and rockets from one place to another. It says it bombed about 9 miles of those tunnels overnight. We don't have any word of casualties from that, but these strikes have been keeping Palestinians up all night terrified. I just got off the phone with a 65-year-old woman, Kifaya Abu Jayab. Let's listen. She says, we didn't sleep at night at all. I felt like my heart stopped. And she is one of the tens of thousands of Palestinians not only facing fear, but facing short water supply. She says she fills up her buckets to use water to bathe and clean when she does get water. She has just a few hours of electricity a day. And that was just last night. The biggest, deadliest Israeli strike so far in this fighting was Sunday. Several multi-story residential homes collapsed. 42 people, including very young children, were killed.
Well, has Israel provided evidence to justify one particular strike over the weekend, Daniel? I'm talking about the destruction of a large building that housed the Associated Press Gaza Bureau.
Yeah,
that's right. That building completely collapsed in the Israeli strike. Israel says Hamas military intelligence was using the building as well, and that destroying the building had crippled Hamas's command and control capabilities. Israel has not published evidence of that. And although Israel warned the building an hour before, there were no casualties. People escaped.
So no thousands
we don't know why Israel didn't tell the Associated Press.
Stop. So wait. So deadly attacks, yes, but they lead with this crime against humanity. These bombs are keeping people awake. People are losing sleep over this. Now, I have to tell you, I think that's a little out of balance. Is Hamas keeping Israelis awake? No.
You know,
they're not.
I had a similar situation at my home this weekend where my wife is always cold and she refuses to put the air conditioning on when we sleep. And I woke up in the middle of the night too warm to sleep, too warm.
Too warm to sleep?